On the last episode, we temporarily fixed my bike, but I'm still in need of a clutch plate.
We narrowly avoid death on the way to Dubbo in the dark and pouring rain.
We made it to Dubbo an hour late for the big comedy show, but Taco managed to save the day.
Muddy opens a bottle of wine worth a lot of money and takes 2 sips out of it before we all pass out.
Man, it was so expensive, it's incredible. And Kappa gets a free nut. Wouldn't be the first time. Go.
So we woke up in Dubbo and we had to awake Sleeping Beauty. Bread. Wake up, bread. Wake up, bread.
The pillow I was sleeping on, he didn't have a pillow cover. He just gave me like a singlet that I have to put over the top of it. Now, you're going to see a lot of this footage a lot of the time. When I wake up, if I've had a few, it looks like I've been in a fight with a bee the night before because I wake up with the world's puffiest face, just 2 bee sting eyes all the time.
Looking back on this footage, man.
It's so bad.
It's so puffy.
I know.
Showtime, brother!
Time. You got to get up because we got to get to the place. And I've got the worst haircut.
Oh my Lord.
I've got this weird fryer haircut.
I was going to say, it's not much better now, mate. But you look like Merv from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Normally, Nick is unorganised. I always say with Nick, he's like a cat. You throw him out the window and somehow he always lands on his feet. But Nick was, for once, you were stressed out about the clutch plates more than I was. I was swanning around having a great time. I'll let you have all the frustration for once.
This is the most organised Nick Kappa has ever been. He's organising my clutch plate while I sit back and recover from this hangover.
Yeah, well, you know, I felt bad. You know, I'd taken you on this road.
Oh,
And-
so you are admitting that it was your fault?
No,
that
it wasn't
my clutch went?
Well, it's just you didn't know how to ride on that stuff.
Here comes the anger again.
When you learn how to ride on mud, you'll be fine. you
Yes,
know?
Nick, yes. Thank
My clutch
you.
is fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. And whereabouts is your clutch located on your bike, Nick?
Down there.
Somewhere?
Down there.
It's
Down
it's
there.
around. It's around.
So we're just waiting for the part. It's 11.
It's
They still haven't called.
11:10, so we're hoping it arrives by 12. If it arrives by 12 and he can install it, we'll get him to put it in. If he can't, I'll probably kill Nick Kappa for some unknown reason, and then yeah, we'll maybe just ride with the clutch plate and hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, so we had a look at the bikes. We thought while we're waiting, we'll check over everything.
My
and then
bike had fallen apart again.
Nick's bike had fallen apart again.
I just noticed, man. So the bolts we fixed yesterday are all right. 2 more bolts fell out though. The ones up the front.
did they?
Yeah. So I might go get them now. Mate, that's what happens when you ride like a demon, right?
Man, it sounded like he was stuck in 3rd gear the whole way.
So yeah, we call them back at lunch. I rang up before, we're just waiting on a clutch kit for a DR650.
You ended up talking to the guy on speaker.
By the looks of it, it was ordered yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so yesterday, look, I probably wouldn't expect to see it until at least tomorrow, if I'm honest.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, mate. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, mate.
Okay. Fuck.
That's fucked.
So
I was
fucked.
so confident. I was confident it was going to come today.
Yeah.
I was like, it'll arrive by 12, we'll hit the road.
Now we're out of options, and we've got another time deadline. So now we were behind. We caught up, and now we can't get the bike fixed. So we just have to hit the road and go again.
Yeah, we just had to hit the road. But before we hit the road, I thought I'll call around, you know, the towns ahead,
Yep.
and see if there's anybody. I managed to call Vince String in Inverell.
Now, if you don't know who Vince is like the DR650 doctor. He is a famous motorbike mechanic, and I was excited that he was going to work on my bike. You know,
Yeah.
what an honour and privilege.
He
you know?
is the DR650 king.
Yeah.
I ring him and they're like, look, we don't know if they're the right plates, but we got the plates, baby.
Yeah, and he said we've only got like maybe 2 or 3 plates, but we reckon we got enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
That was enough for us.
So yeah, the bloke in Uralla's got the clutch plates and the gaskets.
Perfect.
All we got to do is just find out who wants to buy some clutch plates.
Let's go. So we hit the road and it's around lunchtime now and we've got to make up time again, but we don't have a massive deadline because we don't have a gig that night, which is good, so it's not as stressful.
We just had to meet my brother in Uralla.
That's all we had to do.
I just had to meet my brother.
Sit on the
in Uralla.
road, sit on the nice bitumen road and get there.
But I got bored. We stop in at this pub. How you going? And I tell the bloke, mate, I'm bored. Get us off the tar. And he says, man, you can go through this national park. It's beautiful.
Let's do it, baby!
It gets dirt straight away.
Straight
and
away.
pretty hairy. Pretty
Well,
muddy as well.
I was then again annoyed at you because I was like, man, my bike is stuffed. Now you're taking us off-road. We've got no phone signal. We don't know how to fix motorbikes. If we're in another bad situation again, I was back to wanting to kill you.
This looks like shit again and I got no fucking clutch.
I was so annoyed, but like, it was actually beautiful scenery.
was beautiful
It was actually
scenery.
beautiful scenery. The roads were windy. There was forest. Went through puddles. We're having a good time. I still was annoyed at you. I wasn't a 10 out of 10. I was a 5 out of 10 because it was still beautiful and nothing wrong happened.
Good bit of track, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But Nick kept pulling over and I couldn't understand what your hand signals meant.
See if I watch him come around.
So you pulled over on this corner and Nick's doing this to me. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Is there danger coming up? Does he want me to slow down? So I slow down and then you start yelling at me. It means go, it means go
going like
faster.
this.
You're doing this.
I wasn't doing that. I was going like this.
Don't ever be a lifeguard because that means danger. That means help.
This means pin it, brother.
So you were trying to get me to get fast footage around the corner and then this happened.
The slowest corner I've ever seen in my whole life. Anyway, it was fine. But it did get quite a bit hairy, a bit of baptism of fire for Brett.
It was downhill and I'm still not super confident on the bike. You know, it's a heavier bike than I'm used to and I probably only have, you know, maybe 15 or 20 hours off-road. And the downhill parts, I'll be honest with you, they scare the hell out of me. Because I'm like, I don't know if I can stop this bike, but I managed to get through it extremely slowly, but we got through it at the end.
Oh, that's a nice bit of track. We got from Coolum to Tamworth. Got to Tamworth and met my brother in Bendemeer. Said hi to the big bro.
Ooh.
I mean, my little bro, but
Little bro.
he's kind of the big bro. And then we went on to Uralla. Now, once again, we tried not to ride at night. But we did get stuck riding at night for another hour to Uralla, and the fog came down and it was freezing.
How does this keep happening? But also, I kind of enjoyed it to a little bit because your brother got to experience the pain that we went through, so I was kind of like sucked in. But he's on a Beamer, is it a 1200 or a 900?
On an 800, Beamer
800. So he's got this beautiful, beautiful bike. It's got a windshield, it's got heated hand grips, he's got a comfy seat. I don't think he was fazed by it at all.
He was not fazed by it.
No.
And just trying to keep up with him was a nightmare.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, a DR650 and an XT600 can't rinse a BMW. What are the
Also,
odds?
he's way more experienced
Oh, yeah.
than either of us. So, yeah, that was hard. We got to Uralla. We found this cheap hotel. Made it to the bloody Altona Hotel in Uralla. Connected with the biggest bad boy on two wheels. Far out. And the wimpiest man on two wheels. Nice. We lock up the bikes and we're locking them up, and Brett goes, "Oh man, these locks are pretty good. Yeah. These disc locks. I bought them from Amazon for like $4. I hope they don't break." And I was like, "Oh god."
We can't afford
what a thing to skimp on. Don't tell me they're broken.
Normally when I buy stuff, I buy the best of everything. You know what I mean? It's got to have... you always rinse me and go, "Oh, Brett's got to have Toby Price's name written on the side or he won't buy it." But I was like, you know what? I'll conserve some money this time. I'll buy some cheap
Skimps
blocks.
on the one thing that keeps our bikes safe.
That's all right. It's more of a deterrent. But anyway, I was over the ride. I was over the cold. We saved some money on the hotel. So we hit the street and we're looking for a feed.
And Uralla, pretty swanky town. It's a beautiful town, but it's swanky. Looking at the beautiful streets of Uralla. Oh, what a busy town.
It's the most random shop, this graphics shop here with defence models. It's like a huge range of defence models.
Yeah, you're right. Holy moly.
Sometimes you see a shop and you look at what's in there and you're like, how does this exist?
Yeah.
Like, how many people are buying model cars for you to pay rent or model boats?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It must be the only one in like a 100-kilometre radius.
Oh, my God.
Or like a 300-kilometre radius, you know?
So we go down, we get to this pub, and we're trying to save money, but it's a fancy place.
Yeah.
It's some of the most... I think I had like chicken with cashew nut
Yeah.
and some sauce, and you had pork again.
Yeah. Oh, I had. I think I had lamb cutlets this time.
You mixed it up.
Lamb cutlets. You can only get them in the country.
Were they deep fried?
Yeah.
Man, deep fried lamb cutlets, they're not a good idea.
I'm going to have some now. I'm going to have some in the break.
And I was like, oh yeah, let's see like who's in the paddy wagon. So they're like getting someone out. It's a fucking like 11-year-old kid in a paddy wagon in fucking cuffs. And I just hear the cop go, "Don't fucking run, mate. Don't fucking run. All right, you'll be out in a week. Don't fucking run."
Not this shit again, Stephen.
It's like, the kid's like fucking up to here. Oh, it was so brutal.
But the best part is we bumped into, believe it or not, two fans.
Two fans were in the Uralla pub.
What are the odds?
At that time.
We were shocked, to be honest.
We were very shocked.
I was like, where were you guys at the gig at Dubbo last night? No, it's too far.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a gig the next night in Tenterfield.
Yeah.
So only an hour away. And we're like, "Are you coming?" They're like, "Nah."
Anyway, we bump into these two fans, and one of them's a beer rep. And me, and, I don't know if you know this about me and Nick, we don't mind a drop.
We don't mind.
And she breaks some ground-breaking news for us.
Yeah.
What's back, Nick?
The Tui's Extra Dry Platinum. I'm like, wow, what a great time to bring it back. You know, you don't have any competition of high alcohol beers. Just give me that hangover at 2 a.m.
I don't know about you, I grew up with Carlton Cold and Tui's, and then eventually I found Tui's Platinum. And Tui's Platinum was that one that was in the black bottle, and it was like 9%. And I think they sold them in 8-packs or something like that, but you could only get through 4 of them before you were dead. And she's like, "Guys, I know you like beer, but guess what's back?" And we were thinking it was like a nice craft one. She's like, "Tui's Platinum." We're like, oh God, my head's hurting already, you know?
Tui's Extra Dry Platinum. You'd get a dry mouth at like midnight.
I had a dry mouth even when she mentioned it.
Yeah, even now I've got a dry mouth. It was so great. We had a great time in Uralla. So beautiful, but we did get home as quickly as we could because this fog was so brutal. This is a better view of how cold it is. Ooh. Ooh.
It was freezing once again. We're walking around in fog, and you know, we had a few wild yarns.
In this bar in Newcastle, in this pub, they had these like robotic greyhounds that would run around this little track like these racehorses. You always knew the one that was going to win because it would like hang back like robotically, like, and then it would just get this huge growth spurt, like. It makes you think about like the long way around when they're riding in snow in Argentina. Like, what kind of gear have they got rocking there? Like, heat coils put under their skin or some shit?
Got like a heated fleshlight sucking him off the whole way. No wonder he's so happy in the cold.
It's shaped like Jar Jar Binks' mouth. Oh, I will suck you off now.
And the best part was when we eventually got back to the motel, out of both of us, me and Nick had a few beers, and the only person who threw up that night was Aiden.
Yeah.
And you know what the culprit was? Lamb cutlets. Of course.
I refuse to believe it. I'm going to get some now. So there you go. What we had to do is we had to get up in the morning, and then we had to go to Uralla to fix Brett's clutch plates.
On the next episode, the search for the clutch plates continues.
Brett's cheap eBay locks let us down, and we end up stranded.
They were $5. Somehow we managed to ride in conditions with worse visibility and colder weather.
We meet the king of the DR650, Vince String. But does he have the right clutch plates?
Kappa forgets you need a microphone, stage, and lights for a comedy gig.
I did forget that. Plus, we have our first crash. I wonder who it was.
Will we make it in time for the comedy gig in Tenterfield?
Find out next time on the Schlong Way Round.
We're not using that take.